just because he goes to school in Maryland, and
Yeah.
I'm still in New York. Bro, I mean, Binghamton is just basically Long Island, so I just continued being Long Island.
It's
Um,
not, but Binghamton, there's a lot of individuality and choices compared to Long Island,
for sure, for sure.
which
It's
is great.
it's yeah, there's definitely some variability in the type of people, but at the same time, it's like the same sorts of people we saw in high school, like growing up,
Yeah.
ever since we were kids. Like, it's the same types of people who grew up in a very similar or even basically the same way that we grew up and went through our entire, like, young adult, adolescent, like teenage, like whatever you want to call it, that
Yeah.
part of our lives, they've all been through it in basically the same way. And it's
That's good.
like, of course there are different people. There are definitely variations, but in general, at Maryland, you have a school of like 30,000 plus student. Like, you could meet someone who's very, very similar to you, and then the same interaction meet the next person who's very, very different. And I think that's given him a little bit more perspective than me, at least, and he's been able to see, like, vast differences between people who grew up in our little Long Island, little
Yeah.
Westchester, like the city bubble, and then people who grew up in all different types of places, like all different backgrounds. He has a lot of friends from DC, and like, I don't
Wow.
think I know a single person who lives in DC. Like, you know,
I mean, bro, Bud's legal there, so you gotta head down
Facts,
there and make some friends.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Listen, Trump's out here. Ooh.
Oh yeah, man, he got to smoke a bogey.
Yeah, big
Smoke
snipes
one
in the
later.
White House.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's just a skunk. I swear, I don't smoke.
Yeah.
Oh,
Huh? Bro, that's like my excuse every time.
it's a skunk.
Oh my God. Who's out here?
Recorded, I swear. But that's one thing with Binghamton. I do feel like I've seen, at least, because I've went to visit a couple of times. A lot of friends up there, including you, obviously, and a lot of people do have the same socioeconomic background, which allows you to meet new people and make a lot of connections, which is great. Because you know that these people are all smart. Like, Binghamton is a great school. You know that you're going places. Their business school is great. Their engineering school is great. Their science programs are great. So you know that the people you're meeting are smart. But the one thing is the variability in the socioeconomic status of the people and how they grew up. And their values are usually very similar, but that doesn't give you a lot of perspectives. Like, one thing that I noticed, I went to Baruch College and I just graduated.
Graduated.
Yeah, man. I got my Zoom graduation. I can't wait to press enter and, walk down the virtual aisle.
Exactly. That's big.
Yeah. I actually need to send them a video of how to pronounce my name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely going to fuck it up. They're definitely going to fuck it up.
They fuck up everyone's name. But yeah, so one thing that I've definitely seen with Baruch is that we get people from everywhere across the world. Like, you met my friend, I don't want to name drop right now, and I don't know if he's comfortable, but from Nigeria, he slept over at your place. Have you met anyone else from Nigeria?
Never.
Exactly.
Like,
I know
not
2 people.
straight from. I mean, I know people whose, like, families came from there, but I've
Yeah.
never met, like, straight up a person from there. It definitely is like that. I mean, we have a lot of people who come from like the Far East. Like, we have a lot of Chinese students, a lot of Korean students who come straight from those countries because they are trying to get an education in the United States. They're trying to, better themselves in a place that's not their home. And I think that's also super interesting, like, being able to leave your home country every year for 4 years, maybe even not go back for the 4 years.
Yeah.
And, the types of connections and relationships you can build with people like that is definitely the place I've found the most perspective and most, like, difference when it comes to people I've met throughout my college experience. It's been interesting, though. I'm so hyped to graduate next semester, though. Yeah.
Got 1 semester left, boy. That's it. But
You got no semesters left. It's big.
well, I'll be hopefully going to law school for the next
Yeah,
3 years.
facts.
Just gotta decide on one.